for the first video that I've done in almost a month, this is not really what I had in mind. But here I am, I'm back, I get to review a movie for you guys, and we're going to break out something that we haven't used in a while. I'm not sure if you guys all remember my friend here, but yeah, I used it in the 50 Shades Darker Rant. I think that was the last time I used it, actually, was that rant. But here we are, it makes a return in this video. Let's get this over with. Midsommar. Midsommar, or as most people call it, Midsommar. I'm going to call it Midsommar because that's how it's spelled. Anyway, it's the second film directed by Ari Aster, same guy who did Hereditary, and again, Ari Aster, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but frankly, I don't really care. So, I'm just going to call him Ari Aster for now. And yeah, it's directed by Ari Aster. It stars Florence Pugh, Jack Reynor, again, don't really care. I'll call him Jack Reynor. But yeah, Jack Reynor, Florence Pugh, you got Will Poulter, William Jackson Harper, I think is another actor, but yeah, anyway, it's about this girl named Dani. She's going through a family tragedy, and she's also in a very toxic relationship with her boyfriend Christian. And basically, her boyfriend invites her to this, like, cultural ritual thing in Sweden. I don't know, a cult, basically. And yeah, so he invites her, and she goes with him, along with a group of friends, to Sweden to do this whole little ritual thing. And then when they get there, they realize that it's not what it seems to be. And then they don't leave. And then they realize that messed up things start to happen, and they don't leave. And then people start to die, and they don't leave. I think you get the idea. But anyway, this review is going to contain, like, massive spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, I don't recommend watching this review, but I will be getting into spoilers because I need to go into detail on this piece of garbage. So yeah, let's get into Midsommar. Oh, I see you're looking for positives for Midsommar? Well, I'm sorry, you're at the wrong store. Thank you. Goodbye. Alright, strap in your seatbelts, folks, because this is going to be a bumpy ride. Let's get right into why Midsommar, aka Mid-Suck-Ass, as I'm going to call it, directed by Ari Asswipe, as I'm going to call him, is one of the worst pieces of garbage in cinematic history. Not just of 2019, not just of the decade, but in cinematic history. So let's just begin right into it. First of all, Florence Pugh is getting Oscar praise for this movie. I don't get it. I seriously don't get it. She's so over the top. Like, you can barely even call her performance a performance. And, like, sure, you can sympathize with her character at the beginning of the movie, maybe, but then when you see what she does later on in the movie, it's kind of hard to sympathize with that. In fact, I can't sympathize with her character at all because of the things she does, especially down the later points of the movie. And then you have Jack Reynor. People are telling me that Jack Reynor is a better supporting actor than Robert Downey Jr. in Avengers Endgame. Yeah. You see that poster back there? You see this poster right here? There's a pretty good reason why I think Avengers Endgame deserves Oscar nominations. And yet someone had the balls to tell me that Jack Reynor in this movie gives a better performance than Robert Downey Jr. in Avengers Endgame. That's so hilarious. It's like, you're out of your goddamn mind if you think Jack Reynor is better than Robert Downey Jr. I'm sorry, but what planet are you from? So, yeah. Like, I'm all for respecting people's thoughts and opinions. I hate that word, by the way. But when it comes to Robert Downey Jr., like, I don't think anyone can top Robert Downey Jr.'s performance. And Jack Reynor, yeah, give me a break. He's awful in this movie. Will Poulter, yeah, he's freaking obnoxious as well. He plays the character Mark, one of the friends. He's annoying too. William Jackson Harper, yeah, he's just bland and forgettable. You don't even remember half the names of these characters. The only reason I do is because I actually have my phone here where I've taken some notes on why Midsommar is a terrible movie, or I keep forgetting to call it Mid-Suck-Ass because that's what it is. But yeah, anyway, let's get on to some of the details of this movie. So, I already kind of talked about the acting. Let's get into the musical score. It's screeching violins. What is so haunting about screeching violins? Oh, nothing. Because it's annoying. It literally destroys your eardrums. So yeah, it's like The Witch in a way, where people think it's such a haunting score. It's so haunting, it's scary, it gives you all attention. Not this movie, not The Witch. It's a terrible musical score. And people are saying the cinematography's good as well. Guess what? No, it's not. Why? Because it's so goddamn bright to the point where you can't tell what's going on. Like, seriously, like all the overexposure is absolutely ridiculous. It's so bright. You can't see what's going on. And all the upside down tracking shots, it's so goddamn pretentious and stupid. I can't give it any credit. So, yeah, the cinematography, awful. So, let's see, what should I get in? Oh yeah, let's talk about some of the details of this movie. So, okay. So the first 15 minutes of this movie, I already know I'm in trouble. Why? Because it basically shows Florence Pugh's character and what goes on. It tries to make us sympathize for her right away, and it doesn't freaking work because of what happens later on in the movie. And then the first hour of this movie, guess what? Nothing happens at all. Nothing happens. It's just these characters, they go to a party, Christian invites Danny to this freaking Swedish cultural thing, whatever it's called, ritual, I don't freaking know. And then they go to Sweden, they do stuff, like, it's just so goddamn boring. Oh, yeah, I said the B word, all you film Twitter assholes out there that love to hammer me for my thoughts on movies. Yeah, I did a tweet a couple weeks ago about why Robert Downey Jr. deserves a nomination for Avengers Endgame, and I got hammered for it by Film Twitter. And I also posted my initial thoughts of this movie on Film Twitter. Guess what? I got hammered for it by Film Twitter. So yeah, screw you, Film Twitter, for hammering me for my thoughts. Apparently I can't have thoughts on a movie unless it's positive thoughts for A24 films. Yeah, by the way, this is distributed by A24. So yeah, nothing happens for the first hour of this movie. Then at the 62-minute mark, the first thing happens, and guess what? It involves two old people jumping off a cliff, and then when they hit the bottom, like, you hear this bone-crunching sound, and then it shows their faces just covered in blood and stuff. The guy's still alive, so what do they do to the guy that's still alive? They sledgehammer his face in. Really? Oh my god. And that's just the beginning, folks, because it gets so much worse. Or it gets better, as I should say. So, yeah, the cliff scene is just one thing. And then we get to later on in the movie. Sorry, I gotta look through my notes here. My notes are kind of disorganized because I was writing them while trying to catch up onto the movie. So yeah, and guess what happens after this? They decide not to leave. Did I mention earlier that they don't leave? Yeah, they never leave. Like, how stupid can you be? You see what's happened, and yet you decide to stay? Come on, give me a break. And then even this, like, English couple, like, they're there as well, and they decide to leave. But they try and justify the reason for them not leaving by having this English couple, like, pretend to leave. And then they, like, one of them already left, they tell them that they go to the train station or something. But then later on you see that that's not the case. And then the other guy tries to leave as well, I guess. And yeah, they try and justify them not leaving with it's so unbelievable and stupid. It's actually ridiculous how Ari Aster's wife tries to get away with this. And then, not to mention, you have Christian. Like, Let's talk about some of the characters in this movie. Okay, so you have Danny, who's just crying throughout the whole movie. It's so over the top and cartoony. And then you have Christian, who's her douchebag boyfriend. And then you have Josh, who's just completely forgettable. Nothing to his character at all. You have Pell, or Pell? But yeah, Pell, who's just this hipster douche. And then you have Mark, who's this obnoxious, annoying scumbag who talks about hot girls and, yeah, just these stupid, silly shenanigans that he does. His mannerisms. Oh my god. Like, this is the same guy that played this crazy guy in Detroit that was actually menacing. Yeah, remember the movie Detroit? Yeah, no one does because it bombed at the box office. But, yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. His transition from that movie to this movie is absolutely ridiculous. Alright, so anyway, gotta get my notes here. So, yeah. Anyway, Christian decides to, like, Josh is doing a thesis, I guess. Christian wants to copy it. And then, of course, there's more stuff that happens. Like, there's like these paintings that convey like incest. Like, it's a bunch of abstract, pointless imagery. Not to mention, this movie is padded to the brim. It's nothing but padding, pretentious imagery, and just this abstract, deep meaning, metaphorical bull crap that you see in every A24 horror film nowadays. Oh my god. But yeah, anyway, so up next, oh yeah, the urinating tree scene, as I like to call it, although that's an insult to the YouTube channel, Urinating Tree, which, by the way, pretty good sports channel, you should check them out. But yeah, anyway, Will Poulter's character Mark decides to urinate on a tree that's sacred, and then he gets in trouble for it, and the people go after him for it. He's lured away by a female cult member. Josh, later on, decides to get some photographs for his thesis, so he sneaks into this forbidden temple. I don't know if you guys heard that, but there's thunder outside right now. But yeah, perfectly describes my mood about this movie. But anyway, so yeah, he sneaks into a sacred temple to get some photographs of like this sacred runic text, and then he's seen by this like partially nude guy, and like Mark, like it's revealed that Mark has been killed, and he's wearing his skinned face along with like his shins, I think, or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, he hits Josh over the head with a mallet. And that's the end of the scene. So it's like, okay, what was the point of that? I used to show off that people get killed. And by the way, like, this movie rips off Climax, another A24 film, because it's got the upside down camera, like all these pretentious tracking shots, and people taking these drugs and getting high and getting all disoriented and stuff, tripping on this drug. But yeah, anyway, so next up we get to this dance sequence. This is the start of the third act of the movie, by the way. We get to this like dance sequence where like the whole cult's just dancing around a tree. Danny is the last one dancing. She's then crowned the May Queen, and then later on, Christian, he's all drugged up. He's being prepared for like this sex ritual or whatever. By the way, I walked out of this movie when I went to see it in theaters the first time. I later finished it online, which is why I'm reviewing it so late. But yeah, I walked out of this movie the first time at this sex scene between Christian and one of the female cult members. Yeah, he's having sex with one of the female cult members. It turns into this cringeworthy orgy, and they're making all these wailing, moaning sounds and crap. It's like, what even is this garbage? Yeah, I don't blame my friend. Like, I saw this with a friend in theaters. I don't blame her for wanting to walk out of this movie. I don't blame her at all. Because this scene is so beyond pretentious and over the top. It makes absolutely no sense. Nothing in this movie makes sense. But yeah, they're like he's having sex with this girl, and then later on, like Florence Pugh's character is there as well, because of course it has to be right in front of her, and then she starts crying and moaning and stuff, and then later she has a panic attack, and then later, remember the English couple that I was talking about earlier? Yeah, one of them, like, oh my god, one of them is dismembered, and like his ribs are like ripped out of his spine and stuff, and his lungs are as well. I guess it's called a blood eagle, from what I looked up with it. But why show this? Why show this? Was it really necessary? No, it wasn't. And then we get to the ending of this movie. Oh my dear God. There's a couple movies I saw that I haven't reviewed yet where the endings were total trash. This ending makes the ending to those movies look like the ending of Avengers Infinity War. I'm not even kidding. It's that bad. So let's get into this ending, okay? So, anyway, they figure out that the ritual, they have to make like 9 sacrifices, and there's already 8. Pretty much all the friends except for Pell have been killed at this point, along with some of the villagers, and of course the old couple from earlier, the English couple. Yeah, like they've all been killed and dismembered. And so they need one more victim. And as the May Queen, Danny, Florence Pugh's character, gets to decide who to sacrifice. And so, let's see, I gotta get through my notes here. Yeah, and it's to purge the commune of evil, by the way. So it's like to purge evil, and yet they're killing all these people for, like, no reason other than to purge evil, even though what they're doing is evil. Hypocritical much? But, yeah, anyway, so Danny, she gets to choose, and because she's all mad at Christian, of course she chooses Christian. Which, by the way, why didn't she ever break up with him when she could have? Especially toward the beginning of the movie. Why didn't she ever break up with... She knew the relationship was toxic. Break up with the guy! Like, I swear, if my girlfriend... Like, if I acted like this toward my girlfriend... Like, I actually told her this once. I told her that if I ever acted like this in front of her, break up with me immediately. Get yourself out of the toxic relationship that you're in. Because you don't deserve a guy like that. I told her that. Not that I would ever act like this in front of her. But, yeah, anyway. So, yeah, she decides to sacrifice Christian. And then Christian, who's paralyzed from this drug now, like, he's now paralyzed. He can't move. He's stuffed inside this bear carcass. Like, where the hell did this bear even come from? But, yeah, he's stuffed inside this bear carcass. And then he's taken to the temple, along with the other victims. So now, he's inside this bear. And let's see. Sorry, just looking through my notes again. But, yeah. Anyway, at this point, the temple's set on fire. And of course, they have to show like one of the other villagers getting caught on fire, because why the hell not? More shock value. And then outside, they're celebrating. They're doing more of this moaning, wailing crap. And then Danny, at first, like, okay, I'm gonna give you the exact thing. I'm gonna express the exact feeling that Danny was going through. And yeah, Jerome, feel free to take pictures of this because I know you're going to. Here's what she's like. And then the movie cuts to black. Anyway, so yeah, that's all the major plot details. Again, I warned you guys that I would spoil this movie at the beginning. So, yeah, and it'll be in the title of the video as well, spoiler filled. But, yeah. So that's the main plot points. Now, let's get into why Ari Aster made this movie in the first place. In case you don't remember, Ari Aster decided to make this movie while he was going through a breakup. Oh, gee. And here's another thing he said. Guess who he was influenced by? He was influenced by another director. Guess who it was? Lars von Trier. Or as I like to call him, Lars von Trash. Because he is trash, and he's a director that's an evil human being and cannot be trusted. And if he ever came to America, I would want to be the first in line to go with a baseball bat and beat the crap out of him. So, yeah. Influenced by Lars von Trier. And he also said that this would be like Mother, in a way. Yeah, remember Mother, the Darren Aronofsky film? Yeah, that piece of garbage with Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem being like this couple, and yeah, people come to their house and start stuff, and then there's like this baby eating scene. Yeah, let's not talk about that movie. That movie gave me an anxiety attack, so yeah. The less we think about that movie, the better. But anyway, so yeah, he went through this during a breakup, and he made this movie basically to showcase his feelings. Like, basically, he portrayed himself as Florence Pugh, and his lover, significant other, or whatever, was portrayed as Christian, Jack Rayner's character. And, like, yeah. So basically now he's shoving his personal feelings down our throats. Screw you! Focus on making a good movie. Stop with this stupid personal life nonsense. Don't bring your personal life into a movie and showcase like your hate for relationships and how toxic they can be. Screw you! Don't force that down my throat. Don't insult my intelligence. Quit being pretentious. Stop it. It's people like that that piss me off to no end, and it's why people like Darren Aronofsky, Lars von Trier, Nicholas Winding Refn, and Gaspar Noé are a bunch of liars that can't be trusted, and their films should be avoided at all costs because they do nothing but stir up controversy and hate and try and get a reaction out of people. Screw you! Stop with that nonsense. Stop it. Focus on making a good film with good characters. If it's a horror film, try and do your best to scare me. Yeah, you know what's a good horror film that actually explains things and makes sense? Watch the movie Us by Jordan Peele. Yeah, Ari Aster, people are hailing him as the best horror filmmaker working today. I'm sorry. He doesn't even deserve to sniff Jordan Peele's jockstrap. Or people like Mike Flanagan or James Wan, okay? Or David F. Sandberg, that's another one. Don't even dare compare Ari Aster to someone like that. Oh my god. In case you don't know, I'm very tired right now. But yeah. Also, 147 minutes. That's the runtime of this movie. This has the same runtime as The Shining. Actually, I think it's even longer. I think The Shining was like 144 minutes or something like that. But yeah. This has a runtime damn near close to that of The Shining. Longer than The Shining. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to make a little comparison here. People comparing this movie to The Shining. Or something like The Wicker Man, which is another garbage cult film. But yeah. I'm gonna make a little comparison here. The Shining is the New York Yankees. Or the Los Angeles Dodgers. Like, one of the best movies of its genre. Just like the Yankees and Dodgers are the best teams in baseball right now. This movie is like a Little League team. Like the worst Little League team. Yeah, they don't even deserve to be compared to the Baltimore Orioles or the Detroit freaking Tigers. So, yeah. That's how I feel about this movie. And how people are comparing it. And yeah, people think this movie is one of the best movies of the year. And oh my god. I can't believe people are saying this movie is one of the best movies of the year. They think it's up there with like John Wick Chapter 3. They think it's better than Aladdin, The Lion King, or something like Us, or Shazam, or like what are some other ones? Rocket Man, Blinded by the Light, or what's another one? Spider-Man, Far From Home, Toy Story 4. And yes, I've seen people say it's better than How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World and Avengers Endgame. How? I don't get it. Like, how the hell can anybody think this movie is good or redeeming in any way possible? I don't get it at all. If you like this movie, more freaking power to you, but I will never in my life understand what is to love about this movie. I will never understand that. The acting is bad. The writing is terrible. The dialogue is cringeworthy. The cinematography is pretentious, awful, bright, overexposed, awful. The editing is bad. The freaking musical score is one of the worst musical scores of the year. This movie is nothing but padding and pointless, pretentious garbage. All this abstract imagery and stuff. Torture porn, shock value shit for the sake of shock value, mean-spirited, deplorable, despicable, boring, lifeless, garbage, trash, whatever the hell you want to call it. Just about every negative connotation that can be used for a movie can be applied to this movie. It's awful. There's nothing good about this movie. There is nothing redeeming. Oh my god. I'm so fired up right now over this movie. That's why I have this here, Disney, like this Disneyland blanket, because it keeps my sanity keeps me from going totally insane. So, yeah. Anyway, I should probably move on before I blow a freaking gasket. Oh wait, I already have! I swear I look like that YouTuber Mini Lad there. Like, I had the glasses and everything. But, yeah, anyway, I hope you guys... So, yeah. Midsommar, directed by Ari Aster, is one of the worst films of the year. Without a doubt. It is one of the worst films, not only of the year, but of the decade. It's one of the most overrated movies of the year. One of the most overrated movies of the decade. This is one of the most pretentious, lifeless, nonsensical, mean-spirited, boring, despicable, deplorable movies. Like, this freaking horse dick of a piece of art house pretentious garbage that Ari Aster calls a film. It's one of the worst things ever. And it shows that Ari Aster is a freaking hack, and he is a liar and cannot be trusted. So, yeah. Ari Aster, you're a hack. Don't ever make a movie again. If he does, it's immediately going to be going on my #1 least anticipated movie of the year. Because that's how I feel about him. He's awful. He's one of the worst horror directors working today. So with all that being said, I think you guys know where my score for this movie is going to go. This is a big fat 0.000000% rotten rating. It doesn't even deserve a 1 or a 2 or anything like that. I might even give this a -1 at the end of the year. I don't even know. Yeah. But, yeah. 0. Big fat freaking 0. That is a big F. Anyway, guys, there's my review of Midsommar. Yeah, if you ask me if I'd watch this movie again, I'd rather watch... Like, people can complain about the Lion King remake, and actually all the Disney remakes come out this year. People can complain about those all they want. The fact is, I'd rather watch Dumbo, Aladdin, and The Lion King, especially The Lion King, in a loop, a continuous loop, than sit through 2 minutes of this movie again. Yeah, I'd actually rather have all of my limbs ripped off by a tiger shark than watch this movie again. I'm not even kidding. I'm so tired. I don't even know if I said everything I needed to say. Like, I read off all the plot points in my notes, But, oh my god. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my rant on Midsommar. This is one of the biggest rants I've ever done, for sure. Easily the biggest one since, like, Rough Night, probably, which was back in 2017. But yeah, I need to rest now because my head's about to explode and I'm spent. So, yeah, make sure to click the like button on this video if you enjoyed it, and make sure to hit the subscribe button down below for more content to come in the future. I'm going to be doing a full summer movie recap on the movies that I haven't reviewed yet, so stay tuned for that. And then eventually I'll be doing my top 5 best and worst movies of the summer. And I wonder if this movie's going to appear on my top 5 worst of the summer. I wonder. But yeah, make sure to stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe for more. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Click the like button if you enjoyed it. And until my next review, once again, my name is the California Cougar. And always remember to stay California cool. Peace. Oh, Disney blanket. You've done so many good things for me. I hope I never lose you, because if I do, I can't imagine how I'm going to get through any more of these big movie rants. Peace out. I'll see you guys later.